Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Rafe in the city that's light. LED look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look through light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city. I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left is my good friend Charles Davis, and what a thrill to be here for the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl. And it seems to get bigger every year. The lights get brighter. The cameras more numerous. I don't know. There's just so much that goes into this game. It's an honor to be here, isn't it?
It is an honor, and I can't wait to share this game with you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. You're my partner, my best friend. I can't imagine being anywhere else but right here with you. And just think about it this way. You mentioned the magnitude. This is no longer just a game for America or even North America. This is worldwide. People watching from just about every country in the world. This is impressive.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and just about ready to roll. Now Jackson on first down, and his first look is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit! 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 Gun!
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And connecting here with DJ Shark. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun! Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And fighting down inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Second down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Jackson to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Oh, look at the juke. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. On first down, it's Rosen. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Gone, 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 gone.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Portland in control of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And they'll throw it with Rosen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Kelly. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 3rd down, Rosen. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Little. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jackson now. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Sharp's got it left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22. Jackson on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson will throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the defense has come up with it.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here's Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Willis in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. For Rosen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Time to step aside. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Now they try the right side here. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Over the middle, complete. That's Kellen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rosen on 1st and 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Steps away to his left. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick, But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
So we've reached halftime here in Super Bowl 55 as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And here now the offense heading back out there. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Rosen to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jordan Willis in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Gone! 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 Gone!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Taco Charlton in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And now back out comes the offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. Back now here on EA Sports. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
A toss play to Chubb, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And past the 30, down to about the 27. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And there will be a break in the action here. They're going to take a timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time. Got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Now this offense about ready to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well, as you said.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derwin James with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And now it's Rosen looking. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. Now Rosen on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, Rosen buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, it's Rosen. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never think about it, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They calling for me and they. You want me like you know. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. Big Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my sweat.